Today, we will talk about the 5 best tips and advice I have learned to save time when making meals in my homeschool day. By the end of this video, you will have practical tips that you can use today to make meals faster and easier for yourself every day. Let's get into it. Alaikum. My name is Iman, and I help Muslim moms homeschool with confidence and joy while having systems and routines to stay on top of their home management and doing all that without sacrificing your own self-care. And so as homeschooling mom, it feels like our kids are eating almost every 30 minutes. I feel like I'm always in that kitchen making some sort of meal, making some sort of snack, and it can be a lot and very tiring if you don't have any system in place. The other thing with making meals is that making specific meals rely heavily on starting the next important thing. For example, making breakfast on time relies on when we're going to start homeschooling next. Or making sure we have dinner on time will help me get my kids in bed on time. And so not having a good system with meals or just falling behind and being late on meals will really cause more stress to you because it kind of pushes everything back in your day. And so these next 5 tips that I'm gonna give you has really helped me stay on top of making my meals and my snacks throughout my homeschool day. So number 1, you need to have a meal planning system and routine. And so what is this? You need to have a specific day, 1 day a week, that you're gonna sit down and meal plan. You have to know what meals you're gonna cook every day. You have to know what you're gonna put on the grocery list and when you're gonna do grocery shopping. And so I have a whole meal planning rotation system that I use, which is right here. And I'm literally gonna share this template with you down in the description box. But to learn all about this template and how I use my meal planning rotation system, check out this video because you need to have some sort of system in place to really help decrease the stress of making meals every day. Once you know what you're making for breakfast every day, lunch and dinner every day, and what meals you're making every week, and having that rotating, that literally takes the thinking and the decision making that you have to do every day with making meals. The second tip I can give you is prep ahead for every meal that you have to make. And so because you have a meal planning system and you know exactly what you're gonna have breakfast that day and lunch and dinner that day, and I personally actually write those meals in my planner so I know exactly what I'm gonna make, then you can prep ahead that day before that meal comes. So for example, before lunch comes, I can cut some vegetables during breakfast time, and for dinner, I can take out meal during breakfast time and let that thaw out so it's ready for dinner. And so just doing little things while you are in the kitchen making another meal or making snacks for your kids that will help prepare you for the next coming meal will really help you cook that meal faster. And so this leads me to the next point, which is my third tip and advice I have for you, is make the items that you need for the upcoming meal the meal before. So for example, every day when I am making breakfast for my kids, I already know what I'm gonna have lunch for that day. So whatever I need for lunch, I start making it at breakfast time. I cut the vegetables, I maybe season some chicken, and I have that all ready and I put it in the fridge. And when lunch time comes, I'm already making lunch, but at the same time, I'm prepping stuff for dinner time. And so that way, when you are prepping the items that you need for the meal that's coming up, really helps make cooking that next meal faster. So try it and let me know what you think. The fourth tip I have for you is create a way where you can make getting snacks for your kids easier for them so they can do it independently. And so you probably know the feeling when you are probably homeschooling another child or cleaning up or doing something and you have one of your children constantly nagging you and asking you, I'm hungry, I want a snack, I'm hungry, I want a snack. And so I've created a system where I have made snacks very accessible. Even my 2-year-old now can go in the fridge and get a healthy snack for herself. Some things that I do is I boil lots of eggs and I peel them and I put in a container so my kids can grab an egg. I have all the yogurts in the lower level. I have all the cheese in the lower level. All my snacks are mostly in the lower level. I wash all the berries, blueberries, raspberries, and I put them in jars and I put them all on the lower level. I wash and I cut strawberries and I put them in jars and I put them in the fridge, lower level. So all of these healthy snacks are snacks that my kids can just go in the fridge, get a bowl, and just serve themselves. They don't need me to do it. They don't need me to grab snacks for them. The other thing I've done is I've made my older kids responsible for my younger child. So I always tell my kids, if anybody's eating anything, they cannot eat by themselves. They have to ask their brothers and their sister if they're hungry, and the older child usually makes food for the younger ones. And everybody eats together. We don't eat by ourselves in this house. It is not the sunnah as well. So I've taught my kids that if they're gonna have a snack, always offer that snack to their younger sibling. And the fifth tip that really helps make meals less stressful is involve your kids in the cleanup of every meal. And so you as the mom should not be cleaning every meal by yourself, okay? That's like a lot of cleaning to do, which I still do when my kids were younger, which I know depends on the age of your kids. So if you have kids that are 4 years and older, you can give them a task to help after every meal. Number one thing that every child should do starting at 4 is they should be able to take their own plate and their own cup and put it on the kitchen counter or put it in the dishwasher. And so you have to teach them how to do that, and also how to put a little bit of their food in the compost or garbage, and how to put it in the dishwasher in the kitchen. So every child should be trained to do that starting at 4 years old. The other thing is you should give each of your kids a mini chore they have to do after mealtime. Are they wiping tables? Are they wiping the chair? Are they sweeping? If you have an older child, teach them how to wash some of the dishes, wipe the counters. Get each of your kids, if they are old enough, to help you clean up and reset the kitchen before you move on to the next activity. This will help you so much, sis, if you can take the time now and invest and train your kids to help you clean up after every meal. Because if you and your kids can work together as a family to clean up very fast, then you can just move on to the next activity. And so for example, I have implemented this year. And so my 7-year-old now, his job is to wipe the tables, and my 4.5-year-old job is to wipe the chairs. And I still sweep the floors, I still do the dishes, and I still do the counter. So we do all this in 10 minutes. I set a timer for 10 minutes. Everybody contributes, everybody works together and gets the kitchen cleaned and reset it so we can go on to the next thing. So if you like this video, then you will love the next video where I explain my whole meal planning rotation system, which truly helped take out the stress and the overwhelm of planning for my meals every week. And it just made making meals easier and faster. And so if you don't have a meal planning system, check out this video on the screen to learn more how you can create one for yourself.